The world we live in is moving so fast. But up here, in the mountains, winter doesn't care if you're in a hurry. It holds you tight, and there's no way you can get out of its grip. When we bought this cabin in the mountains in 2018, we decided to change our lives. We wanted to escape the chaos and the noise of a big city. Since we set foot here for the first time, it's been a constant renovation project. Something always pops up, and we are never truly finished. With this new year coming, it's time to start fresh with new projects and fresh ideas. There's been something we kept putting aside for a while now, because even though it's quite functional, it's not something, let's say, visually rewarding, but eventually it's quite useful for our living conditions. We decided to upgrade a bit what we call the technical room. The technical room is something between a workshop, a storage, and a place that keeps safe our water tanks and pump. Not the prettiest room, but without it, we'd be practically living in the Middle Ages. Speaking of which, I must admit life here can be tough, but it can also be amazingly rewarding. The forest is literally enchanted, and just to sit out with a cup of tea can be a total bliss. As the weather grows cold, sometimes I find myself simply contemplating the steam rising from my cup, and peace surrounds me. Have you ever heard the sound of the snow falling? Everything around you turns quiet, as if noises are softened by this bright blanket, and as you contemplate those snowflakes falling, oh so lightly, you can feel time slowing down. And, as poetical as this place can be, it is also pretty demanding. So before we go on to the main project, let's solve some more practical problems. It's time to change the wheels on the ATV and get the snow tracks on. Usually we do this in early November, but this year was absolutely crazy if we talk weather-wise. We had the first proper snow right before Christmas, and that means almost a month and a half later than usual. And then it almost all melted away. So there was no real need to replace the wheels. They were doing an absolutely fine job with the frozen ground. But finally, the season has turned, and here we are. Snow is finally here for good. It's a very nice day. It's a bit chilly because it's quite windy. And as the weather gets truly cold, it's time to set things on fire. This cabin gets heated by a pellet stove. The hot air gets pushed through pipes to the upper floor, and that's how the two main floor gets warmed up. But we have no way to properly push the air down to the technical room, and the temperature in winter in this room usually drops slightly below zero. Not good. especially if the water pipes that connect our only source of water freeze. We decided to install a wood stove. First project of this year. Step 1. We need an air outlet, a chimney to be precise. The foundation and the downstairs walls are made of stone, literally big pieces of rock, and to push through was a nightmare. We had to drill for 8 hours. But eventually we got on the other side. We managed to drift this stove for 15 euros. It was an epical bargain, and the man who gave it away almost never used it. It was in pristine condition. We just got it cleaned, and up it went. Pretty happy for it, because money is something we try to take seriously around here. And to do any kind of renovation always require a lot of planning for the obvious difficulties due to the logistics of this place. You can find yourself easily overwhelmed by costs, and that is why we always try to make our choices with quite some ahead planning. Before we finish installing the stove, I'll take you with us for a quick shopping trip and I'll show you a sneak peek of the nearest town we have here. It's a ski resort and I found it very pretty. We're heading to town today because we have to do some shopping. We need food for the dogs and a new pair of slippers for Saga because the one that she has, they don't fit anymore and she's growing. I'm gonna show you a little bit around in town, not much because we're just going there and back. It's a small ski resort. It's about 20 minutes from here and that's the only town that we have near here. This tiny town is nested in the middle of the Italian Alps. The mountains that surround it are the beginning of the famous Dolomiti. It's quite a lovely place, although when it's high season it's almost impossible to get to it. Cars are parked everywhere. But it's the nearest town, so it's not like we have a choice. And mission accomplished. New house slipper for Saga, and the dogs will have their food. If you are enjoying the video, I would be super grateful if you'd leave us a like. And if you have any question about the house or concerning the way we live up here, just feel free to drop it in a comment and I'll try to answer as soon as possible. I also run a blog and you can find the link in the channel description. But now back at our heating project. We are setting all the pipes and repositioning the stove so it will not set the whole house on fire. And there we go. We're gonna have to properly insulate the walls around it, but for now there's a reasonable distance between the walls and the heating source, so it will be alright. But if we need to leave it unattended first, we'll need to make it a bit more safe. There are a few more projects we will need to take care in this 2024. Probably we'll get some new windows. We need for sure to fix a bit the roof until we can manage to make it all new. And as soon as possible, we'll try to finish the outside insulation of the main floor. It will help us a lot in keeping the heat inside, but those projects will probably have to wait till the weather gets warmer. And we need to put a proper chimney on the pipe from the stove that comes out of the wall right now. That is probably the most pressing upgrade we need to take care of. And of course, there's gonna be something else coming up along the way, but it's already as it is a challenging year ahead. So let's say we're gonna take it a step at a time, or if we're talking project wise, a project at a time or a month at a time. Thanks so much for watching. I really hope you're enjoying following us in our endless renovation journey. And until next time, take care. Ciao.